Something many of us lose when we retire is our social connections. You know, our work friendships. These are individuals that we have worked years with, maybe even decades with, and we often go to lunch with people at work, or we meet with them in the lunchroom and talk with them at the water cooler. We share experiences at work. Maybe we talk about family and our home life. And it's, unfortunate, but when we retire, a lot of these friendships they kind of fade away. It's really important to, have a strong network of friends, not only for your emotional well-being, but even for your physical health. So in today's video, I just want to kind of talk about some things that you can do before you retire, if you haven't retired, or maybe you already have retired, and what it is that you may want to consider doing to, protect your overall health. There was a study, it was a famous study by Harvard University, the longevity study. They followed thousands of people over decades. And essentially, in a nutshell, I can just wrap it up in, just a couple of words. They found that older individuals with strong network of friends live longer and were more happy. And there was another study, it was published in PLOS Medicine Journal. This one actually showed that individuals that did not have a strong network of friends had a 29% increase of heart disease and a 32% increase in the risk of strokes. And so for those of you that have not retired yet, and there's individuals that you really enjoy spending time with at work, I highly encourage you to start cultivating those networks outside of work as well, if you can. I'll give you my own example here. So I worked in the information services department for a company for over 18 years. And besides my direct manager, who is the CIO of the company, there was also two other vice presidents that were in the group as well. And the four of us, we often got together after work for non-work related activities. Now, I'm not saying often like once a week. I would say maybe once every couple of months. And the reason for that is because we were in different cities. My boss was down in the Southern California. I'm in the Bay Area. Another vice president was in Oregon. Another vice president was in Seattle. But at least once a quarter, we would get together. We would, maybe have business meetings, and then we would go out that evening, and we did not talk about work at all. We just had a great time at a restaurant and, going for drinks afterwards. That would really kind of followed all of us, after leaving that company. I left in 2015. And my manager, my boss, he left 6 months after I did. And again, so he left in 2016. Here it is, now 2024, and I can tell you we seldom go a couple of weeks without talking to each other on the phone. And at least once a month, all of us get together on a Zoom call, and we catch up for an hour. We call it Cocktail with Friends, and we'll pour ourselves a cocktail, and we're talking on Zoom, and we're just laughing and catching up with each other. And this is what happens when you start cultivating those friendships at work to expand to outside of those work areas. So again, I would highly encourage you that if you haven't already retired and you haven't done this, and there's people out there that you really enjoy spending time with, take the time and start trying to cultivate that. Now, it's also very important to diversify your friendships, and you can do that through, community groups, maybe hobbies that you have, volunteering, church activities. For me, one of the things that I've done for many, many years is I've been a member of several different meetup groups. And I've talked about meetup in other videos, and I'll put a link to the meetup below, but this is something that's pretty much across the US. There's just about every type of meetup group that you can imagine. Going from meditation to, mountain biking, to hiking, to photography, to networking, to startups. Everything out there. if you haven't checked a Meetup, definitely check it out. Again, I'll leave a link below. But I've been in several Meetup groups. One of them was a meditation group. I've been in for 8 or 9 years. And once a week, get together at a local park, and we do this for an hour. Maybe the first 15 minutes we just talk and catch up with each other, and then we meditate for 45 minutes. By the way, meditation is just a non-negotiable in my life. It's something that's very important to me. But we do this over, once a week. And what was really interesting is, I've developed some close friendships with that. And one of the individuals, this woman, she's a software engineer, but I also found out that she loves photography. And so we have lunch now and then. And you know what? We're not talking about meditation. We're talking about photography. So, and then again, I've also belonged to a couple of photography meetup groups as well. So don't rule out those kind of groups there. But the bottom line is that you really want to start diversifying your network of friends, especially if you did not cultivate those friendships before leaving the office. And even if you are still working, meetup groups oftentimes meet at night and on the weekends and stuff. It's still, an idea to do that. Another thing you might want to consider is connecting with old friends out there. This is, something that's a lot easier today than it was, many years ago. I mean, with Facebook, and I know a lot of older individuals out there, they don't like to be on Facebook, but let me tell you, it's a great way to develop friendships on that. I got a couple of individuals on Facebook that I went to high school with, and we talk quite a bit. So just because they're, they live far away or something, I don't get to see them in person, doesn't mean that I can't consider them, good friends of mine. There's one that lives in Kentucky, and there's one that lives up in Oregon, and another one that lives up in Northern California. All three of these I went to high school with, and it's just fun to talk with them. I mean, I was surprised at how old they look, though. It was really weird. I don't understand that. I never aged.
What?
So anyway, I hope you found this video informative and useful. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, hit that bell notification, as I do upload new career tips and strategies every Tuesday, and I'd hate for you to miss anything. Thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.